it's Steph from wildfoxstitchery here, and today I have an extra video for you to explain and show you my stitching game that I am personally playing, just in case it sounds fun and something that you want to do as well. I have files that I made that go with it, so if you are interested in getting those files and playing along, join my Facebook group and I'll have them posted there for you to download. And if you do end up joining me on this game, use the hashtag threadwalkerstitching and tag me, because I would love to know and see what you're stitching on and what characters you're leveling up as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at this game. We call it the Threadwalker Saga. My boys had a lot of fun helping me come up with some of the monsters' names and some descriptions of the monsters. They did do some drawings as well. I don't have them to show you, unfortunately, but they were having fun with that. So let me read you just a little bit about the Threadwalker Saga. Just a little fun story for you. So it says, adventure is stitched, not written. Once the world was whole, every story, every song, every heartbeat was woven into a single living tapestry that shimmered with light. But the weave had begun to loosen, threads come apart, patterns vanish into the wind, and from the unraveling come creatures born of tangles and forgotten dreams. You are a thread walker, one of the rare few who can still hear the language of the loom. With a needle as your guide and thread as your magic, you set out across the fraying realms, where the land itself ripples like cloth and the stars tremble on unraveling seams. Along the way, you will choose your path. Some weave healing into the wounded world, some sing courage into the hearts of others, some draw strength from the wild threads of the forest, while others stitch light into darkness with quiet precision. Whether bard or thief, druid or warrior, wizard or ranger, your craft is your courage. Each stitch you place restores a little of what was lost. Each battle against the restless knots brings the world closer to being whole again. And in time, as friendships form and legends awaken, you may come to understand the oldest truth of all. That stories do not survive because they are written. They endure because someone cared enough to stitch them back together. So that is what is written on the first page here. I'll go ahead and show you a list of the classes that you can choose from for your character. So we have the Stitch Bard. They weave songs and stories through thread. We have the Stitch Thief, quick fingers and quiet stitches. The Stitch Druid, guardian of nature, fabric, and fiber. The Stitch Warrior, they boldly stab, no knot can stand in their way. The Stitch Ranger, they roam the realms of fabric, guided by instinct and perfect lighting. The Stitch Wizard, they control the arcane arts of fabric and floss. And there is a weakness for each of them listed here. The weakness for the Ranger is distracted by side quests and starts too many projects at once. So that is why my character is a ranger, a Stitch Ranger. So you also have a character sheet that you can fill out. I just put a picture from the internet here, so it will be blank. You can put whatever picture you want there. Name, Seraphine Threadbane. The class says Stitch Ranger is what I put here. My project focus is a project called The Fall of Arthas. And if you've seen my other videos, you have seen that as well. Your goals for your project. My goal is to finish the 4 largest colors cross country and reach 20% completed, which if I do complete this, it goes up to level 100, then you definitely will reach, or at least on my project would reach 20%, because it's at least 55,000 stitches plus more. So yeah, and then you have a chance to write out some backstory for your character if you would like. So a blank one would be in the files for you to use. This is the sheet where you track your levels. I need to color in just a couple here because I did not update this recently. Okay, so as you can see, I am working on getting to level 12. So each of these is a level, so this would be the first 10. Each row would be 10 levels. Once you get to the end of the row, you will have to defeat this monster to move on to the next row. And so you can see the numbers. They tell you how many stitches are in each, to pass each level. Plus there are some different colored ones. So for example, this is this darker color. So you read down here, it says you met a monster. So you have to roll a dice, 1 or 2, it doesn't matter. If you roll odd, you can take 50, you can minus 50 stitches times whatever dice the dice was. And then if you roll an even, you have to add 200 stitches. Oh no, this is not, there's some different ones here, but so odd, you take off 50 stitches, even you add 200. So when I rolled it, I rolled an even, so I had to do the 200 from the square here plus another 200, so I have to get 400 to get to level 12 here. And there is a tracking sheet along here that you can fill out, so you can see how many stitches I had to do for each level here. There is a way to earn modifiers, and modifiers are just adding +1 to your roll, and you can use it whenever, but it's a one-time use. So once you use it, just cross it off. I mean, you can only use it once. So on the first sheet, I had a list of ways you can earn modifiers, and you can add your own ways too. But a page finish, you could earn a modifier. For small projects, every 3% you complete. For large ones, every 1% you complete. If you do a full cross, every 2,500 stitches. If you do half cross, every 5,000 stitches, you would add a modifier on. So that's where you would keep track of that. And then I have the total stitch count here. So, and then the date that you earn that level. So as you can see, I have to get to 1740 before I will get to level 12 and move on. So when I got to the end, of level 10, I had to defeat this monster. So then you would look at the monster sheet, and you have the 10 corresponding monsters, and it tells you, it says right here, roll 2 dice when you're fighting a monster. It tells you how many you need to get to defeat the monster. So for example, the first one I had to get 8 or more to defeat it, and if I got 7 or less, I had to stitch another 30 stitches and then try again. And that was the Tangled Horror. A writhing mass of knots and frayed threads. It feeds on your patience and grows stronger the longer you ignore it. So the first time I rolled that to fight this monster, I got less than 8. So I had to do another 30 stitches, and then I could try again. And that time I did get more than 8. So I defeated the monster and I was able to move on. So that is how the monsters work. And then that's when you could use your modifiers if you didn't want to do more stitches to move on. So, and you wanted to defeat the monster. Because at the end, you have to get 11 or more, so 11 or 12 to defeat the final monster, which is the Shadow of Unfinished Whips. My son named that one, he liked that. So that, I think, is all of the sheets that you would get. Like I said, this is just for fun. There's nothing really cool or crazy about it. You could, I'm gonna do it all for one project, but you could say you defeat the monster, you could switch projects or something like that, or switch projects at a certain point throughout the leveling that you decide on. That would be a way to add more projects into it. But otherwise, it's kind of just a fun way to encourage yourself and have some fun as you're adding in lots of stitches. So that is the game. I don't think there's anything else that I need to show you. I'll just show you real quick how far I've gotten. So it looks like on my tracking sheet I have at least 1340 because I had to get 1340 to get to level 11. So here is my progress so far, and I will keep working on this and leveling up the character. And so yeah, if you have any questions, let me know below. If this sounds like something fun, let me know you're going to be joining and doing it. I'm also coming up with a related board game, more like a Monopoly type game, but it's going to be with the same characters and places. But then this would be a way to add a lot more whips around the Monopoly board that you would work on, similar to the way that other people play the Monopoly game, but just with fun different names on it. So I'm working on that right now. Join the Facebook group if you want to get access to these files, and let me know by tagging me and using the hashtag that you are joining me. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.